DocTalk is brought to you by Merck Animal Health, the science of healthier animals.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. Today we're going to have a great show. We have Dr. Mark Hilton here from Elanco Animal Health. We're going to talk about how you can utilize your veterinarian on your farm and ranch to do things for the health, performance, genetics, nutrition, and records. Stay tuned.
As dependable as the sunrise, in dairy parlors, open pastures, on ranches and feed yards across America. A place where reputation is more than a name, where the science of healthier animals is a way of life. It's the responsibility that drives who we are and what we do. Every decision, every day. It's your livelihood and our responsibility.
Closed caption brought to you by AgriLabs, the perfect pairing of performance and value.
This segment brought to you by the new Hired Hand Portable Cow Sprayer. For more information, visit cowsprayer.com.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. We have Dr. Mark Hilton with us. Thanks for joining us, Doc.
You bet. Glad to be here.
Folks, we're going to talk today with Dr. Hilton, who has a wealth of knowledge about veterinary practice, beef production. He's been both, or are both. He's a veterinarian and a beef producer. And so working with Elanco Animal Health, he's been a practitioner in Eastern Iowa, DeWitt, Iowa, for any of you that are in Eastern Iowa watching the show. Also been on faculty at Purdue University over 18 years. And today we're going to talk about something we both have passion about, and that's cows and veterinarians,
Right.
and how do producers adequately use the veterinarian.
Yeah, that's, and it goes back to when I was a kid at home, and we were pig farmers. We bought a different farm. It had some rough ground. My dad said, we need cows. And we really didn't know much about them. And when our veterinarian would come out, he would quiz my dad and me too as a kid, and ask questions about the herd. And we could tell he wanted us to do a better job. And we wanted to do a better job, but we just didn't have some of the knowledge. So he became an asset to our program. And as I got high school age, thinking I want to go to veterinary school, that'd be my top choice, I thought I want to be on the asset side of the ledger for the producer. Delivering a live calf's fun, treating a sick calf and making it well is fun, but if we can not have either one of those happen in the first place, that's the best for the producer. And so, that's the way I've always thought. How would my folks like this to run the best? How do they best utilize the veterinarian? So that's what I kind of modeled it around.
Yeah, and I think that there's a lot of times that not only does the producer wants the veterinarian to be on the asset side as well. And when we get into some of the kind of the tailspins of some of these practices or practitioners is when we're just utilizing them for that fire engine medicine. And it's kind of hard to get exactly really fired up to just be needed when somebody can't do something.
Right. And I think they've done research, Dan, and they found out the world's worst marketers are food animal veterinarians. We're terrible. We're so worried about bragging or because you're farm kids, that's just not the thing. You don't brag. So sometimes we're so understated. We really don't serve our clients well by telling them or talking to them about things that we do know something about where we could help them. And every client thinks we need to help them on health, and I agree. Need to make a vaccination calendar, and we talked about that in another session. But sit down with the veterinarian, find out What do we need to do? What's important here on the health side? Get that thing solved. If they have any disease, get that solved, because we shouldn't. A well-managed beef herd should not have disease. 100% healthy calves is absolutely attainable goal. You and I have both had clients that have had it year after year after year. You know, oh, we had a pink eye 4 years ago or something, or oh, a cow had foot rot. But for the most part, you know, a healthy herd is where we start.
You bet. So, folks, we kind of set the table here for you. If you can't see it, we're going to talk about things that you can do and utilize your veterinarian to make your herd healthier and more profitable. Thanks for tuning in to Doc Talk. We got Dr. Mark Hilton here. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back after these messages.
Some call it a come from behind victory, an unlikely win, a reversal of fortune, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. This is our moment, our victory dance, because we choose confidence. We choose Zuprevo for BRD treatment. Ask your veterinarian to prescribe Zuprevo. Zuprevo is a fast-acting, long-lasting BRD treatment that you can count on to get the job done. Choose confidence. Choose Zuprevo from Merck Animal Health.
I've always had an interest in care for the animals and their well-being. Really what we want to do is work hard to eliminate as much feedlot lameness or beef cattle lameness as possible.
How we feed a cow on a daily basis can not only have daily effects, but they can also have long-term effects on claw health, reproductive performance, mammary health, all of those factors as we look at the inputs and the response that the animal has to what we feed them.
When animals have adequate intake of effective nutrients, we take care of the immune system and performance follows. It's important that the consumers understand our dedication to the well-being of these animals.
Do your cattle struggle with pink eye, BRD, or another disease? Contact Newport Laboratories for a customized solution. Our custom-made vaccines are produced using the specific diseases found in your area. These USDA licensed vaccines offer potential cost savings on vaccine and labor. Contact your veterinarian or Newport Laboratories the next time your cattle are in need of a custom solution. Newport Laboratories custom-made vaccine, because every situation is different.
This segment brought to you by the new Hired Hand Portable Cow Sprayer. For more information, visit cowsprayer.com.
Folks, welcome back to Doc Talk. Dr. Dan Thomson here with my friend and colleague, Dr. Mark Hilton. And we're discussing how you can utilize a veterinarian on your farm. And so health programs is obvious,
yes.
You know, and that's kind of the one. But getting to that preventative medicine, the calendar, the vaccinations, things to that nature. What do we have next?
Right, health gets us in the door, but a lot of times there's a lot more important things. So, you know, I tell all when I was a professor at Purdue, I told all the students, ask the clients what their goals are. Find out what's important to them, because we don't know. You know, if we assume, we're probably going to be wrong a lot of times. So I'll ask, you know, question, I noticed, you know, you're full feeding your cows hay, you know, it seems like they waste quite a bit. Would that be an area that you'd like to talk about? Oh yeah, I'd love to talk about that. So that opens the door for me to talk about nutrition. If I have a fairly good knowledge, background, animal science for nutrition. I had a great education, and so I can do some of that, but I'm not a PhD nutritionist. So if I have really tough questions, I call somebody like you or somebody else that's got a PhD in nutrition or a company nutritionist. Hey, how can you help this producer? But for a lot of them, the veterinarian can get them, you know, if that producer, on a baseball analogy, is somewhere between just hitting the ball and they've just left home plate and they're trying to get back around to home, they may only be 10 feet toward first base. Well, I can get them to second probably with my knowledge. I can't get them home. That's where I can call somebody, but if they're not even at first yet, I can get them there and talk about, well, let's time feed these cows. What about feeding some byproduct feeds, something like that? I know you guys here at Kansas State had a nutrition seminar for veterinarians last fall, and I think you're going to do it again.
Yep, we'll do it this fall.
You know, excellent for veterinarians to learn from the guys at Iowa State that developed the Brands program. That's the program I use, and just super. But I think nutrition needs to be something the veterinarians at least involved in, help them out. Maybe they're using some very expensive product that really doesn't have any research to it. Gee, that's money draining out of their pocket, so we want to help them, on things like that.
Yeah, and I think that looking at research and just, if you'll call your veterinarian and say, hey, I've got a question about this, they either get with a feed company, they get with a extension agent,
Yes.
Technical consultant, different things like that to get to the right answer. A lot of times veterinarians, if they're just to be part of the team, it makes things so much more exciting, not only for the producer and getting things done, but for the veterinarian to be engaged
Yes.
on a day-to-day basis in your herd.
Yes. And being the veterinarian, you know a lot of those people, so you can help direct the client to get the right people on the team. I always told my clients, I don't have all the answers. In fact, I don't know is something that I say on a routine basis, but I follow that with, we'll find out. We'll find the people, we'll find the information that you need.
The people
Right.
around there.
Yeah, exactly. Another area is marketing. I know a veterinarian here in Kansas that all of his clients that precondition their calves get tags from him that have his website on the front of the tag and his cell phone number on the back of the tags. He is telling that person that's buying those calves, we're proud of these calves. Here's some faith that you should have in these cattle, and these cattle are important to us. We want them to go out to the next place and do a great job in the feedlot and make money for that feedlot owner, be healthy. And I thought, what a great way to help your clients market. He gets all of his clients together and they market the calves at a similar time of the year, and he said it's been super successful for him.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. Folks, when we come back, we're going to talk more about how you can utilize the veterinarian on your cow herd with Dr. Mark Hilton. Thanks for watching Doc Talk. We'll come back after we take a break.
Say this is a calf that's been run through the chute a few too many times. Going through the chute stresses cattle, causing them not to eat like they should. Luckily, Pyramid 5 plus Presponse SQ provides proven protection against key respiratory diseases in a single shot, with just one trip through the chute. Talk to your veterinarian about Pyramid 5 plus Presponse SQ, and soon your calves will relax and eat like a whole different animal.
It takes vision, dedication, hard work. It takes knowing who you can trust. At Zinpro Corporation, we have more industry-endorsed research behind our trace minerals than any other company. Proof that our patented performance minerals help improve overall animal health and performance. Lots of companies make claims. At Zinpro, we generate results.
If my calves start healthy and stay healthy, I've got a good shot at making money. That is why I trust Clostrix. It gives my calves the protection they need until their own immune systems kick in.
Calf raisers trust Colostrix colostrum supplements. Colostrix is USDA licensed and proven effective. When your money is on the line, trust Colostrix.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Hey folks, welcome back to Doc Talk. I'm Dr. Dan Thomson here with Dr. Mark Hilton. Dr. Hilton is a veterinarian. He is a bovine veterinarian. He's 33 years in veterinary practice and still cooking. And so when we're talking about doing some things here of things that you did with for your clients or with your clients, and how producers that are out there can better utilize their veterinarians.
Right. My favorite area to talk about is records. I love numbers, and once we get numbers on a herd, now we're not guessing at things. We actually know what's going on. Looking at calving intervals, if we're having repro problems, where is it occurring? Numbers don't lie. And, ranking cows from top to bottom in a herd, and having the ones that are at the bottom, they may be asking to leave the herd.
Right.
Yeah. Some of them need to do that. And so
We've had some students that
Yeah,
way.
yeah, well. But, you know, when I was in veterinary practice, I did that. We had 30 herds on a production medicine program at Purdue when I was there on records. And once those producers get on that system, they tell you, I don't know how I did this, how I raised cattle without these records. This is so vital to me.
Absolutely.
And the first 10 herds that I had on my production medicine program in Iowa, after they'd been on it for a year, we had 7 areas to our production medicine program, and records was one of those. And I said to them, I said, of the 7 areas, which one has been the most valuable for you? 9 out of the 10 people said records. So it's really important because they had some things wrong in their mind, and the numbers aren't, they don't lie on that.
Well, it comes back to too, is whether it's managing your personal bank account or whatever, what you think it is and what it actually is, sometimes they're not the same.
Right.
And if you have it there in black and white, you know, we can make change if we measure it.
Well, look at the feedlot industry.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just dramatic. Records have dramatically changed the things.
Yeah.
Another area that we get involved in a lot is handling facilities. So I'm the veterinarian that's out doing the preg checks of the cows, semen checking bulls, processing cows, whatever, and so I get to see a lot of those. Then I learn from people like Lynn Locatelli and Tom Knopfsinger and go to their seminars and learn those things, and then we can take that to the producer, and it is absolutely rewarding to have that producer, you know, once we go out there after we've retrofitted what they've got, and at the end of the time say, oh my gosh, that took an hour and a half less than it usually does. Nobody's stressed out. The cows are better. And it just, you know, it's a great feeling to know that you've helped them put a system together that was really economical, a lot less money than they thought. You know, a bud box isn't very expensive. And just that system that I've been taught from those other folks, because, you know, that's what those veterinarians want to do. They want to teach us, and then we take it out and, you know, teach even more people. So we do a lot on handling facilities.
Well, and depending on how your veterinarian's charging.
Yes.
It could actually decrease the veterinary cost to work with them on a facility, and Uncle Joe doesn't get thrown over the top of the corral.
Yep. Yeah, it's a win-win, you know, having the right facilities.
A lot of stuff.
Yep.
Well, folks, this is a good time for a break.
Okay.
And I mean, when you start to think about the ground we've covered with nutrition, health, marketing cattle,
records,
more records, and then facility, there's still some more to come.
Did you know long-range planning through the checkoff can help keep your business profitable? To successfully pass on cattle operations from one generation to the next, it's important to promote beef and keep farms and ranches profitable. Your Beef Checkoff helps do that.
I'm Jeff Mingus. I'm from southeast Arizona, where we have a family cattle ranch. I've been in the cattle business my entire life. I can remember the onset of the checkoff program, and when the Beef Council decided to use checkoff dollars to create additional demand for the chuck and the round. And I think that created a significant increase in the price of our product, and I think the beef checkoff has been beneficial for our operation.
So we moved to an area on a national backcountry byway, and because of that there's a lot of tourists, and they'll stop in sometimes, and we've had a lot of people come out to the ranch. So we take that as a real opportunity to educate people about the beef industry. So we built this catering business when I retired a few years ago. I've used beef checkoff recipes over the last 20 years, but when you're really producing that for the public, it takes on a whole new meaning.
As a young rancher, there was a lot for me to learn when I came back to the ranch. I feel as if the beef checkoff gave me additional tools I needed. The beef quality assurance program has helped teach me how to handle cattle in a more effective manner, a way that's the most beneficial to the cow and the most efficient for the producer.
And I'm really proud to be able to say that the beef industry is reaching out to the consumer. I have this one on my website, Gazpacho Steak Salad. It's very popular. And this is one that millennials like because it's quick, it's fast, and they don't have a lot of time to prepare. And this one has been really popular with men because you ask them, do you like to grill? And of course they say yes, and say, well, here's just a couple of recipes, and they grab them.
We feel really blessed that we have one of our sons, Ben, wanting to carry on the ranching tradition, so he'll be a 5th generation cattle rancher in my family.
Still using ineffective fly tags on your cattle? It's time to eliminate fleas, ticks, flies, lice, and parasites, and at the same time, give them a shiny coat, making them more valuable. One fly tag can cost $2.50, but you can do this all for about a nickel a head. Introducing the Cow Sprayer, designed and built in the U.S. The Cow Sprayer is portable, solar-powered, and comes with a 25 or 40-gallon tank. Eliminate parasites for about 5 cents a head with the Cow Sprayer. Cowsprayer.com.
This Medford, New Jersey school bus runs on biodiesel, and so do these. In fact, all of these buses run on clean-burning biodiesel, which is great because the more we use biodiesel in our heavy-duty vehicles, the less carbon pollution in our air. Think how great it would be if more of our school buses ran on biodiesel. More biodiesel, less carbon pollution. More is less. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
It's easy to spot the man who uses Synanthic. With lower volume and less waste, Synanthic steps up your deworming routine. Get more deworming with less dewormer at Synanthic.com.
Beringer Ingelheim Vetmedica Inc. knows the importance of beef quality assurance and asks you to step up and get certified. Go to bqa.org for details.
This segment is brought to you by the Beef Quality Assurance Program and the Kansas Beef Council, improving animal care and beef safety for more than 20 years.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thomson, Dr. Mark Hilton. We're talking about how you can utilize your veterinarian. Dr. Hilton has done a lot of incredible work and really was one of the founders. My dad started doing some production medicine. You have really been the leaders, especially on the cow-calf side. Yep. And I have a lot of admiration for everything that you've done for a lot of us. And we got to get more involved. We got to get more of it done and keep amplifying the message because it's good for the entire beef industry and very good for the veterinary profession.
Yeah, it's just fun for me to go to that client that's got a bunch of questions and wants to. When I can see they want to do better, I'm just all over that because that's my favorite client. You know that I really want to help them do a better job. One of the other areas, and when we have students come, and when I did the advanced beef production medicine block, the students were amazed how much time we talked about forage and grasses. And we would have the forage specialist from Purdue, Keith Johnson, come out on 2 of the herd visits with us to really give them a bit of a education about those things, because really we don't teach them much about that in vet school. And I sure don't think veterinarians should be pasture management experts, but you need to know something about it. But I tell all the vet students, when you get out of vet school and you're going to work with grazing animals, the first week that you're on the job, find out who the grazing specialist is in your area.
Absolutely.
Call that person up, say, I want to buy you lunch and I want to talk to you because I want to get you on my team. So again, as the veterinarian, if I go to a farm and he starts having pretty high level questions to me about management intensive grazing, what species of grass, I'm like, hey, you're over my head, but if I can bring somebody in and the 2 of us can go to that farm together, what a value we've brought to that farm. And again, then maybe I'm going to learn something and go to the next farm and learn even more. But beef farmers are grass farmers first. If we don't have grass, we don't have beef. And taking care of the soil, taking care of the health of the soil and the pasture is super important. And I think a veterinarian needs to be at least able to answer some questions there and then direct them to that person. And the best case scenario is that person knows the veterinarian by name. Oh, sure, I know you, Mark. Yeah, I've talked to you many times about pasture. Yeah, glad to help you, and off you go.
Yep.
So that's an important one to me.
And I see down here that you have number 7 here is genetics.
Yep.
Because that's one that is becoming more and more of a part of the veterinary-client relationship.
Right. And the NOMS study showed that veterinarians were the number 1 person of all the people that farmer deals with that they're going to ask about genetics. That surprised me a bit. Yep. And I quiz people and say, when was the first research done that showed crossbreeding was beneficial to the beef business? And I usually get guesses in the 50s and 60s. It was 1937. So something we knew 80 years ago, we're still talking about. I'm confused. You know, there's breeds out there that are great breeds. They do good things, but if you're running commercial cattle, you should have crossbreeding. Crossbred calves jump up and nurse faster. They nurse more colostrum. They're healthier. The fertility of the cows is better. Let's see, which one of those is bad? Yeah, I can't think of any. And I think as the veterinarian, you can say, hey, I work with Joe over here, and he's been using this, you know, this breed or this composite, and it's really worked for him. I think that might help your fertility issues or your disposition, you know, whatever. To you know, can I help you on this area? So it's an area that I talk to a lot of producers about.
It's awesome. Folks, a lot of things a veterinarian can do to help you and your ranch and your cow herd. Thank you, Dr. Hilton, for being here. Thank you for watching DocTalk. Remember, always work with your local veterinarian. And if you want to see what we do at DocTalk, you can find us on the web at www.doctalktv.com. I'm Dr. Dan Thomson, and I will see you down the road.
Closed caption brought to you by AgriLabs, the perfect pairing of performance and value.
For more information about this program or previous programs, go to DocTalkTV.com. DocTalk was brought to you by Merck Animal Health, the science of healthier animals.